Okay, what can I say about the movie Ghostbusters 2016 or Ghostbusters 3, whatever you want to call it? Uh, it's a hot mess. I tried to like it, I really did. I even watched it twice. At times it was painful. First, let me start off by saying the film was written and directed by Paul Feig, and I happen to like some of his other movies, or I best know him from the show Freaks and Geeks, Bridesmaids, Heat, and Spy. I think he did that as well. The problem with this movie, which stars Melissa McCarthy, Kristen Wiig, Leslie Jones, and Kate McKinnon. There's also an appearance by Cicely Strong. There's cameos from some of the stars of the first Ghostbusters movie. And others. There's other cameos, which are totally wasted. Why even bring them back? They're not playing the characters from the other movie. They're just in there to be in there. Like Annie Potts, that was a throwaway. Ernie Hudson was in there, and his cameo was okay, but it didn't, again, add to anything. It was actually, enjoyed seeing him again. I enjoyed seeing Dan Aykroyd again, but not as just a throwaway character. And Bill Murray was a totally different character. He was a skeptic, and he has a showdown with one of the ghosts. And it just seemed like, why? It was disappointing. And I'm not even that big of a Ghostbusters fan, but after watching this movie, it made me miss the original Ghostbusters. Like now I wanna just take a shower and go back and watch the first Ghostbusters movie again. Pretend like this whole thing never happened. There's certain parts about it that I do like. The special effects blow the first one away. But that wasn't the charm of the first movie. It was never the special effects. It had warmth, it had character, it had Bill Murray, Dan Aykroyd, Harold Ramis, at the height of their careers. Back at that time, for the first Ghostbusters, Bill Murray was actually like cool. I think the problem is they waited too long to make this movie. They should have made a Ghostbusters 3 when Harold Ramis was still alive, but from what I read, Bill Murray wasn't into it at the time for personal reasons, and so they ended up making this instead. But the problem with this movie kind of exists sort of like in a parallel universe. They don't even acknowledge the previous Ghostbusters. The weird thing is there's references to the other movie. There's Slimer. Sigourney Weaver makes an appearance. Ozzy Osbourne has a cameo, which that was totally wasted because this scene takes place at a heavy metal concert, and some other band opening for Ozzy is on stage, and then ghosts arrive at the concert, and then there's a showdown between the Ghostbusters. It's like a wasted moment. I don't even know why Ozzy was in the movie. Like, it would have been better if Ozzy was performing one of his classic songs, Bark at the Moon, something like that. And then all of a sudden, they conjure up what they think is the devil or Satan or a ghost or whatever. And then the Ghostbusters converge on the scene and then take down the ghost. And there was another wasted moment in that scene as well. Kate McKinnon captures the ghost on stage and then says some line like, I got the ghost in the box or something, but it wasn't cool. Like, I was expecting like a Bill Murray line, like, we kicked ass or whatever, like how Bill Murray would say the line, and that would be cool, and then everybody in the audience would cheer. But this, and I didn't see this in the movie theater, so maybe they cheered, but it did not seem to the same caliber. Like, the worst part about this movie is the script, like, nonsensical. It was ridiculous at times. The dialogue was clunky. The worst part about the movie was Chris Hemsworth. He was not funny at all. They tried to make him into some kind of male bimbo secretary, and he couldn't even answer the phone, and he's got no glass in his eyeglasses, and he does ridiculously stupid things, and that he's a male bimbo, or it's eye candy for the women who come to see the movie. I don't know what they were thinking, but there's a little payoff towards the end when he becomes possessed, battling the Ghostbusters. So he's kind of like, okay, that works a little bit because he's strong and he can, you know, he can fight and whatever. He's Thor, so he could do some physical things like that. But other than that, it was completely a wasted character. It was a waste of time. None of the jokes for him worked. But once you get over the fact that, you know what, it's not Ghostbusters 1, so maybe I'll just appreciate it for what it is. And you can't. The problem with some of the acting, like Melissa McCarthy and Kristen Wiig, are good. Katie McKinnon, Leslie Jones, and even Cecily Strong. They just seem like they're acting like some SNL characters. They're not acting in a movie. They used the original song kind of like remixed a little bit, and then there's another song that's totally terrible. The whole thing was a misfire, and it wasn't a remake, it was a reboot, but it wasn't even a successful reboot. The only thing they got right was the logo. Maybe the Ghostbuster mobile, that was okay. Some of the special effects. The villain was terrible. I mean, it explains in some psychobabble way why he is the way he is, but he's not a very imposing villain. He's just a small cog in the machine. He somehow opens up a vortex to unleash ghosts on New York City. So, of course, there's a showdown, and then they have to battle all the ghosts in Times Square, and they're running amok, and they have some technology that they've been working on to capture ghosts and combat the ghosts. That's about it. I don't know. If you like this review, let me know. Post your comments down below, share, subscribe. Look forward to our next review. Talk to you later.